Okay, we have had a lot of misinformation, a lot of lies, a lot of intentional, malicious, devious things being said about people here on TikTok, creators that are also here on TikTok and YouTube. I have had somebody intentionally come to my page and try to bomb my comments section with I flipped about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and that I'm a supporter of hers. I have never been a supporter of somebody who unalived another human being. That goes against every value and moral that I hold as a human being and to my faith. And I can show you that right here on 11/27/2023, a whole entire month and a day before Gypsy Rose was even released from prison. I made my first video and it was banned and taken down because of the R word. I had to then change it because it flagged and removed it on this date. However, I made this video showing you, I don't even talk, I just show you where she claims that on the stand, Nicholas Godejohn never R-worded her at all. And then I show you another clip from another interview where 7 years later, she's trying to change the narrative on that. I was literally told that I am the first person that they have seen bringing up how she's not so innocent. I'm sure her mom was horrible, but she's not all there either. On that original video, my God, girl, this is the best video on the case. Thanks for exposing what should be exposed. There was a second video that I did, not even 4 days after she was released. Right there, you see where the Nicholas Godejohn, where she clearly says in an interrogation and interview before Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard came out on January 5th of 2024. She says in one interview how Nicholas Godejohn is to blame, how she absolutely hates him, but she also was adamant that Nicholas Godejohn was the first person she ever told about her mom doing anything to her, and that he was the first person she ever told that she can walk. In that same video, I show you a little piece of a trailer because Prison Confessions doesn't air yet. And I also show you another interview that she does where she says she absolutely hates and despises him. And I also show you a little clip from that trailer where she says about Dan was the first person I ever told that I could walk. So which one is it? Was she telling the truth on the stand when she testified in Nicholas Godejohn's trial that he was the first person she told? Or was it really Dan? But I want to talk about this because nobody ever mentions her, Aaliyah Woodmansey. This is the neighbor to Dee Dee and Gypsy. This is the daughter of the neighbor, but she was also a friend of Gypsy's. She has actually been interviewed and has taken part in a docuseries or documentary or interviews several different times over the years. This is where she verbatim says, it's sad and unfortunate, but it looks like there finally is a happy ending, at least for her. So if you recognize this face, you would automatically know who she is. That is Aaliyah Woodmansey.
I couldn't trust Aaliyah because my mother was starting to put things in my head that Aaliyah wasn't my true friend and that she was a bad influence on me, so I couldn't be friends with her anymore.
Aaliyah Woodmansey.
Even that friend that you're talking about is wondering why. Aaliyah's worried about you.
Aaliyah? Are you kidding me?
Look at me. Look at me.
Aaliyah's always been a bully to me.
Okay, don't look at me.
That is another video that I do in July of 2023 because this is something that a lot of people have overlooked with Aaliyah Woodmansey. Gypsy Rose not only breaks complete character in her interrogation and tells interrogators that Aaliyah has always been a bully to me, but then she says to the world in a public documentary that it was her mom that was poisoning her against Aaliyah. However, Aaliyah has been very open in interviews that it was Dee Dee who told her she couldn't talk to Gypsy anymore, and that she had cut off communication a couple years before she was unalived. Meaning she cut off communication between Aaliyah and Gypsy. But she wasn't poisoning Gypsy's mind against Aaliyah. She went directly to Aaliyah and told her, you better stop contacting my daughter. This has always been very strategic from the very beginning that Gypsy Rose Blanchard had been arrested to save her skin and save her reputation. And I'm going to show you.
That pencil, and you're writing along with your story. Well, sometimes some people make mistakes when they write stuff down, don't they? You ever made a mistake in your life? Yeah. And I've made mistakes in my life. Hang on just a second, okay? When you're writing this stuff down, all of a sudden you make a mistake. Well, what do you do with that mistake? You take that pencil and you flip it over and you start erasing stuff, okay? And you erase it and you recorrect it. And you take that pencil and then you rewrite your story, okay? And I kind of think that's where you're at with this tonight, okay? That you have a chance to rewrite your story. And I think that that's what you can do, is you can rewrite your story tonight.
I want to show you how so many people completely overlooked Gypsy's lies about Aaliyah then and even now. She even blames Aaliyah for the reason that she knew about the ChristianDatingForFree.com website, when that's actually not true. Aaliyah Woodmansey had actually told Gypsy that she should play it safe. There are terrible people out there in the world, meaning the internet. And a lot of time these guys are not who you think they are. So Gypsy Rose lied when she was telling everybody else that Aaliyah's the reason why she knew about these dating websites, when it was actually Gypsy telling Aaliyah that she's on these dating sites and Aaliyah warning Gypsy not to do that because stranger danger. But then Aaliyah goes on to say she didn't think it was a big deal because he was in a totally different state, and she thought that Dee Dee had enough control over the situation, meaning that Gypsy needed to be controlled because she was doing inappropriate things online with men. But then she goes on to tell Aaliyah how she's going to be introducing him to her mom in March. My mom still doesn't want me dating, but I hope all will go well in March and she will approve of him. To summarize, for those of you who are not really catching on yet, Gypsy has always used Aaliyah to excuse why she was on these dating websites to begin with. So she was using Aaliyah as the negative influence for why she was doing these negative bad behaviors in secret. And then when she got caught, she was always blaming it on her friend. Very loyal friend who was genuinely shocked inside of the courtroom the first time she saw Gypsy Rose Blanchard walk, because she had never seen her walk. But she opened up to her about anything and everything else except the truth. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard has done this to her friends of 9+ years. What do you think she's going to do to her friends of the last 10 months or the last 5 months? And it's completely crazy to me that I'm getting bombarded with these crazy comments from people saying that I'm a gypsy flipper. No. Said if she can come out and can change her life and can actually show that she's reformed and rehabilitated instead of just trying to make you convinced of it, then I can see her being deserving of the parole that she got, of her advocating for Nicholas Godejohn, her other victim. Then maybe she is deserving. Maybe she is remorseful, but we have not seen that. We have seen nothing but more lies and selfish behavior and self-promotion of TV shows, books, engagements, speeches, all of it. But me? No. I have been doing this for over a year before anybody else, and I got so much shit for it. But at least people know that have been here the entire time. They see the truth. They know the truth. There's a difference between exposing the truth and absolutely hating somebody in real life, driving by their house, doxing them, calling their work, calling their PO, and doing all these other things. But I can tell you what, I know for a fact that her and her friends have done it to me, and they've done it on behalf of somebody else to get my content taken down, and called the cops, and called my child's school, and released my private information on the dark web.